is mud. 2, what was that whole grind like?
This is cement. You see that first half? I mean, that was about as ugly as it can get. So when I said I wasn't going to breathe it into existence, I think I did. And I think this is good for us. This is what I wanted, to see if we could win some games with different solutions when it wasn't a free-flowing game offensively, where we weren't necessarily making shots, where it potentially could be a little bit ugly, and then you just figure out how to rally around the competition and figure out how to get a win at the end. And so now that's 3 games where we've held our opponents under 100. 2 out of the 3 have been in the mud, and that's progress for our team. And there's been a lot of moving parts, and I appreciate the group for not making any excuses about it. You can develop a talent to learn how to win regardless of whether you have rhythm, regardless of whether you're changing lineups, rotations, whatever. You can create an identity and figure out how to win, and then when things fall into place, you're in a better place when that time happens.
How nice was it to have Jimmy, and specifically in the situation tonight, to settle things down in the fourth quarter and overtime and the 16 free throws?
Yeah, it was phenomenal. I mean, come on, you don't ever forget about his greatness. The fact that he can score 31 on 12 shots, that's a misprint, and that should be studied by every young player coming into the league, where you don't just need to be a chucker. You don't need to be a volume shooter to be able to score 30. You can do it efficiently if you take the right shots and you find the different gaps and weaknesses, with your IQ. And that's what he did tonight. Obviously I played him more minutes than we all planned on, but that's what was necessary tonight. We'll figure that out tomorrow and by the time we get to Toronto. However, with that said, Jimmy was fantastic, but Bam's 20 rebounds and his defensive anchoring of that side of the floor was critical. If he didn't do all of that, we're not winning this game. And then he also felt like what it's like to be absolutely schemed against, and I think that's great for him and for us. To face those constant double teams. That's the first time really he's been doubled that consistently, and that's born out of respect for what he's been doing. The league is noticing, and he'll adapt. He's been figuring things out, exponentially, through the competition, and this will be a good step for him and us. And then Tyler really played a great all-around basketball game. He had some clutch plays down the stretch, where it wasn't just all Jimmy. Tyler was getting those plays in between, and also his defense, has improved markedly. Where we didn't have to scheme stuff. He was just taking on the.
Can you talk a little bit about his being able to stick with the process and get to his spots, but also his defense on Cam Thomas also picked up in the second half?
Yeah, I think in general Tyler's defense has really improved. Really, the last 2 years, and this year he had an intention to be a legit two-way player. Tyler's ambitious. He wants to be known and recognized as a winner, and he understands that he has to do it on both ends at a super high level. It can't just be about scoring. And he more than held his own defensively. He was very reliable, made some great defensive plays individually. Versus a team that's hard to guard. They have a lot of guys that can attack you off the dribble and compromise you. And if you're not in great position, they can draw fouls or score. And then offensively, he has a great knack for putting the ball in the basket and creating opportunities where, he creates something out of nothing. And we needed that down the stretch. They really locked in on their defense, and they kind of jammed us up. And Tyler had some great relief points down the stretch. Thanks. All right, thank you.